Good evening, everyone. This is The Voice, a future episode of The Inside Times. We have our distinguished elder in studio today. He is a founding father of the United Nimba Citizens Council. We've been having our founding fathers come up here, all of our founders talk to us and tell us the history of this wonderful organization. And we have the opportunity to sit this evening with the Honorable George Duo, who is one of the founders. He will be talking to us about the founding of UNICO and everything that falls in place. And actually, I will let him do a little bit of introduction, self introduction, and then you can get familiar with him from his own words. So we will take this time to welcome you, our elder duo. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We are honored to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes. So you will just introduce yourself to our audience, and from there we can proceed with the conversation this evening.
Okay. I am George G. Duo, uh, one of the founding fathers of UNICO. I thank you very much for the invitation and the chance for me to share with you how UNICO was founded and what I know about UNICO.
That's
UNICO,
excellent. Mhm.
right, we
Go ahead.
UNICO started back in 1979 in Atlanta, Georgia. UNICO just came out of Liberians that were coming to the United States. Some come for various reasons, and others come for school. And so, on one of those, okay, each time people were coming, we were all members of the Liberian organization in the United States. But one of those occasions when I was assigned to go to the airport and get Liberians that were coming to the United States, people used to just send, the people who got there first. And I happen to be here since January 1972 at that time. And so I went to the airport and got several people that were coming. But when I checked, I found for every 10 people I was getting, at least 8 or 9 were from Nimba. So we just joke and say, oh, this could be just a Nimba organization. Then eventually we call everybody to come and sit with us so we can kind of share idea and assess what they were here for. So we got some other people like Mr. Harry Nguyen, Johnny Ball, Michael Don, that were with us, giving us some advice on what to do. So, all right. And so this is how UNICO came about. And when we started, we call it Nimba Student Association from the beginning. So UNICO was founded on that day, and it became Nimba Student Association. And during that process, I was the Secretary General for this Nimba Student Association. So we wrote letters to several states where Nimba students will be. We asked them to join us. And I was the one that wrote the communication, and it was signed by Mr. Dwaka Mongu, inviting all of these people. So I can't tell exactly what day because I don't have the document with me,
Right.
but on that particular invitation, a lot of Nimbayan responded, and a good number of people came. Like I
Right.
say, I don't have the document to tell you exactly how many people came, but at the conclusion of this discussion, and when other elders were talking to her to advise her on what to do in it when you come to the United States,
Right.
because most of the people were coming for education, So most of the advice were concentrated on how you're going to behave, when you are at the various institution that you came to.
Right.
And so from there, we formed the organization, NEMA Student Association, and I was elected there as the chairman for NEMA Student Association.
Okay.
Uh, that's how we got started. Do you have any question before I can go further? You can start.
And I actually have to admit that I admire your presentation style and I like how it is going in sequence.
Mhm.
Will you, there is something that I did not understand exactly. That
Yeah.
who were you working for when you were picking up guests from the airport?
Oh,
And
I
then
was
a lot
picking
of them
up.
were Nimbayans.
Yeah, thank you. I
Yeah.
was picking up for the Liberian Association in the America, called in Lamb, or actually Eula at the time.
Eula. Oh,
Eula, yeah.
and,
So Eula was existing at that time, you know.
really?
Yeah. And so when I was picking these people, the Nimbayan came and we gathered for social. And during the social, we came up with the idea to fund the organization.
Okay. So were you in any position at Eula by then?
No, I didn't have any position, but there were other people who were in position.
Yes.
And when we introduced ourselves and people who could drive and who know the city,
Yes.
uh, were told to go pick up somebody from so because not everybody know the direction.
Okay.
So I was one of those who knew at least few of the direction. Atlanta was not as big as it is now. So I could go and pick up people from the airport and bring them to where we were gathering before they can go to their final destination,
And
especially those who were coming to Atlanta and Charlotte, North Carolina.
really? So
Yeah,
just to know this, what year was that?
1979 specifically. That's when
1979.
1979. I would maybe I want to be uh, specific. I want to say in October 1979 because it was around September and October when students were coming to school.
Okay.
And yeah,
And it is from there that
it
some of
is.
the people you picked up from the airport who were already part of Eula
Yeah,
were Nimbayans.
yeah. Nimbai, many from from Eula were also Nimbai.
Oh,
We all were, and that's where we formed the organization. But
okay.
we did not leave Eula. So
No, no, yeah.
there was an organization that we were running, you know, concurrently with Eula.
Okay. So then I'm believing that the idea of Nima Student Association was coming from partly came from Eula because you people were part of a bigger organization and then you
That's
have a lot of Nimbayans now. You people are saying, but why can't we just come and have our own block, a county-based organization here too to run?
exactly, exactly. That's what happened.
Oh, okay. And you were the first Secretary General of
I
the
was the
Liberian.
first secretary general of this organization, but
Uh-huh.
I was also something you would call just errand boy for Eula. I used to
Okay.
just go pick up people and bring them. But when
Yeah.
we formed the organization, we chose Dwake Monglu as the organizing chairman while I
Okay.
was secretary general.
I see.
And then from this group, we had a general election to pick
Okay.
to pick a chairman. And I will tell you what happened is, usually younger people come to school. The older
Okay.
one were not coming to school. But when we had this election, the young people among this group were more than the older people.
Okay.
So we the youth, uh, overcame them with the election, and they elected me as the chairman.
Oh, so is it correct if I say for this Nima Student Association, you were the first Secretary General and then became a chairman.
Yeah, I was the first Secretary General, and I was uh, asked by the chairman, Mr. Dwaka Mongrel,
Yes.
to draft a letter that we will send to all the states that you will find NIMBA student in to
Wow.
come to Atlanta for us to have the general meeting. And I did. And
Okay.
we called so many places. We called Ohio, we called Philadelphia. Minnesota was not that much then, but very few were there. We sent letter there. We sent letter to New York, to Boston. And so people responded and they said they were coming and they came. We had the election
Wow.
somewhere in Southwest Atlanta at Stephen Joe Howe. You know, peace be to him. He's deceased now
Okay.
at Stephen Joe's apartment.
Okay. You know, that is really interesting. I'm pretty much fascinated when people can come and talk about the founding of UNICO and how the group came together. So in that election, I'm just interested because I don't know how you really made it from being a secretary general after you took instructions from the Mongrel. When you took instructions from Mongrel, you sent out the letters, and then a lot of young people came. And during
Yeah.
that election, you now got elected as chairman. Did Mongrel run in that election?
I mean, it just happened naturally, and somebody said, "Oh, Mr. Dua has done very well. He's been calling, contacting everybody. Why not we elect him as a chairman?" And they elected me as chairman. That's
Yeah,
why
you were pretty young at that time.
yeah, I was very young. I was probably about 21 or 22.
Oh my God. Okay. So then, tell me, let me try to picture how it was communicating in the 70s. Did you
Yeah.
people use the line phone or your wrote letter? And who was the recipient of this letter? Did you send them just randomly or
Well,
you knew something biased that?
okay, we will call if I knew Jenkins and
Yes.
Jenkins was in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
we will call Jenkins to give her his address. And then
Oh,
we wrote a just a cover letter. I mean, to say we send it to Jenkins, give it to any Nimbayan you see there that you know.
I see.
So we did that. We sent a letter to Boston, other places, Philadelphia and Minnesota and New York. And so people came and we had the election.
And coming there those days was kind of, how
Yeah.
did it look like? Clean driving or what? How did it look like?
They drove. I would tell you, majority of the people came from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia, of course, because they were very close by.
Okay.
And then few people came from Ohio. A small number came from New York and
Uh-huh.
Boston, and they came. So, but we had a pretty good number. Probably, I can't remember what was the number, but it might be a little close to 40 or a little less.
That is huge, actually. And now,
Yes.
after the NEMA Student Association came into existence, and you are now the chairman, how did
Yeah.
it transition to UNICO?
Well, we ran the organization for about a year.
Yeah.
Actually, the first year was just informing people that we are existing now as NIMA Student Association.
Right.
And then the following year, we have another election. Liberian, we all became interested. People
Yes.
wanted to take leadership. But the initial stage, we elected people, we took our elder who will advise us, and people who will give us most of our senior brother like Lauren Tyler, Johnny Paul, Michael Dan were here giving us advice on what to do and what not to
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Okay. Then the following year, the conference moved to New York.
Okay.
You know, the conference moved to New York, and then we we elected Peter Wake. Peter Wake succeeded me in New York. So the term of reference for the elected was each person was to be in office for 1 year,
Right.
only 1 year. Yeah, so my term was over. Of course, I contested for for re-election, but I lost to Peter Wake.
Okay.
Yeah, and Peter Wake took over. The following year, I think uh, somebody else took over from Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we just kept going. Eventually, the organization became big. Okay. So I'm very happy to be part of it. And I know since that time, I think most of the UNICO members that people are always giving me an honor. And in fact, when in 2011, when they established the NIBA University in Liberia, people here who remember all of the work that we have done recommended me to be one on those delegations that were going to go start the university.
Okay.
And I was there, and I went there, and there I was also appointed as dean of the college, and I worked for 15 years before I was retired.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were based down there in Nima for a while.
Yeah, since I was UNICO until 20, 2011, and then I was appointed as dean of the college there because I was doing the Ellen Johnson campaign when she
Yeah.
came over here, and she was establishing a college, and she said she wanted to establish a college in each of the county, and the strategy was to pick those people from their various county
Yes.
to be the one to start the college themselves.
Okay.
So that's how I was also picked to go.
That's
And
quite interesting.
yeah.
Wow. And I didn't know you were in San Nicolas for that long.
Oh
And
yeah, I was in Tennessee for 15 years.
wow.
Yeah.
That's my hometown. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. My father
Are
is
they-
James Baker.
Oh man, your father was Jim Baker.
Yes.
Oh man, that's my friend.
Oh,
That's
really?
that's my best friend. We were in San Nicolas with that.
Yes. That's my father. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He used to work with the city corporation.
Yeah, he used to
Very
work with the city corporation, Jim Baker. I left him there. He had, in recent time, I left him there. I don't know, they got new government then when I was leaving. So
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now, but he
Yeah,
and
he
I talk.
retired.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the time he and I would talk. Yeah, well, San Nicolas is very nice, very, we work very hard,
Oh, that's cool. That's wonderful. You see, so then in 1979, it is believed that the entire Nema Student Association came up with a bigger dream that they should have the United Nema Citizens Council.
Okay.
They should transform into the United
Yeah,
Nema Citizens Council.
I can say a little bit about that, but not too
Yes.
much. But what I do know is that
Mhm.
at that time, because I was on a government scholarship, and
Okay.
after graduating, we had to go home.
Oh,
So yeah, I went home, and when I went home, that's when the name was changed to United Nimba Citizen Council.
oh. So what year did you go home?
I went home in 1982.
Okay, you were home 82, and then
Yeah.
and how long were you there before returning to the United States?
Oh, I have been coming and going several, so many trips.
Okay.
The first time, 1982,
Yes.
and I went there and worked for, I just fulfill my commitment because we signed document that we had to go back and work
Okay.
for for the government. And when I went, I was assigned at the Ministry of Health. I
Okay.
work as a director of health, and
Okay.
so and I was there until the war started. So
Oh.
I found my way and came back. I worked for 9 years,
Huh.
and then I came back here. And this time I went to Minnesota, joined the organization there. I
Uh-huh.
joined Unico in Minnesota.
Okay.
You know, so that's what happened.
That is powerful. So then, have you served in any capacity, like leadership role in Unico, since you got back and you joined?
Oh yeah, in Minnesota, I was one of the advisor
Right.
in Minnesota. I didn't want to because we wanted other people who had not been in the organization to. But at some point there in time, there was some confusion, and I jumped in and served as an acting finance person
Okay.
in order to straighten out something.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that is very cool. That is very cool. So, based on your observation of Unico, where we've come from, at least since you returned from
yeah.
Liberia, and where we are today, what advice do you give in terms of how things have been working well and how things have not been working very well?
Well, Unico has a long history. There were a lot of tension and other things in Unico. But coming by now, I'm here as a visitor. I'm not, I live in Liberia now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here anymore. But what I've seen Unico doing, they have made a tremendous improvement in what we
Okay.
started. And I'm very proud of that.
Okay.
Yeah, when we were in Minnesota, even the financing was a mess. And so we worked hard and straightened that out. And then few people came in, some administration did whatever they can do. But from all indication, the Nima people were always together, no matter what happened. So this is our biggest strength. Our biggest strength is our number and the cooperation we attach to that number.
That is right. That is right. So the number is our biggest strength in the cooperation. And
Yeah,
it is really amazing how we respond when we are called.
yeah,
And even that first meeting you had, that was in Georgia, when you sent out letters for Nima Student Association, for people to come together, those days in that number, that was really wonderful, where they have to sacrifice to do carpool, they have to respond within a
yeah,
short time.
yeah,
It was big.
mhm, yeah,
And Unico around the early 90s raised $16,000 before, which is the equivalent of around 40,000 to to the money. And I sat down with the elder who told me that, and I began to contemplate how responsive we've been in the past. And that makes
yeah,
me to understand exactly where we are heading today. It
yeah.
is something that has been here for quite a long period of time. And I am very proud that we've maintained that ability to do things in unison.
That's good. I mean, to add a little bit to what you're saying, which
Yeah.
is true, is that in fact, when UNICO sent us to Liberia to help with the establishment of the college, that was where I was concentrating on.
Okay.
UNICO they sent me some funds to give
Right.
scholarship
Right.
to students from some of the districts who were qualified
Okay.
for them to have the education. So I'm proud to say, because I was a chairman of the Big Ed program, especially in nursing, the science department.
Okay.
That was my assignment. And most of the students we recruited, they graduated. You go to
Right.
Jackson F. Doe right now.
Wow.
Most of the workers there were trained at Nima University.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So
That
we
is
get in scholarship, and They graduated, we send them to Ganta, to Tapeta, Sacred Pierre, all over Nimba. You will see that they were most of the students were graduate of Nimba University.
You know,
Yeah.
I am just amazed at your service to our country,
Mhm.
especially the founding of an association here way back where students have to come together, even having that innovative mind by picking up people from airport and then discussing with them that in addition to ULA, we can have something here to work with in the interest of our people. And now it has gone down there to Sonic College where you've worked there as a dean. So
Yeah.
you've been involved pretty much deep with our community. You know,
Yeah.
one thing that mhm,
I'm very proud of the contribution we have made to Nima development.
that is
We've
awesome.
really made tremendous impact in Nima County. Most of the people, in fact, all of the people at the time that we went, um, I would say 80% of the workforce were people from Nimba. You know, just few that came from other places and joined us. And we made progress. You know?
No,
Okay. And so it's a blessing. It's a good thing that all of you continue to do so. I hear a lot of good thing about what UNICO is doing, and in fact, in the recent uh, fundraising that you have, I think in Iowa, right, or
yes,
somewhere,
Iowa.
yeah, you were very successful.
It
And
was.
all the other ones that have been done before I came back were just was equally successful as the recent one.
Yes.
So um, they came to Liberia one time when they were building that women's center, and I
Right.
participated in the program. They invited me, I participated in the program.
Right.
And so they said they're going back there. I don't know if I'm going to be there. If I'm there, I'm going to go to that program.
Okay.
Uh, okay.
That
So
is
that is it.
that is really wonderful. Yeah, that weekend we raised over 100,000. That is something big, and you know we
I
are
heard,
pretty much
I
put
heard
in
that.
when it
That's
comes
very
to
good.
mm,
Yeah.
the yeah. And you know, one thing every time I talk to our elders here, I ask them this question, especially
Yeah.
for those who have been with us from the very beginning, who came together to make this organization a successful one. Some are saying that we are seniors. We need uh, do our convention fee waiver. That is the money we pay to go and vote out there. They are saying, I mean, we are paying our way. We are having place to be and all of that. Yes, we need that fee waiver go on. I would
Yeah.
just want to hear your opinion about that as well.
About go say that again. That end the last one is.
Yeah, so they are talking about the convention fees. The convention fees, the one that be waived for seniors. Some are suggesting that it should be waived for seniors. And that is the money that we usually pay so that we can be able to vote. And that can also serve as a due.
I would suggest that you don't entirely waive it for senior.
Right.
You can have a certain amount a senior can afford. See, someone
Okay.
like me, when you were going to Iowa,
Yeah.
I didn't have money, but if it were closer here, I
Yeah.
would have gone, and whatever I have, I can contribute. But to say just waive it and then they go on gratis,
Okay.
it's not good. Then
Okay.
those things can bring organization down.
Okay. I get your point. I get a view on that. And
Yeah, make sure
as
that everybody continue to contribute.
okay.
Yeah, no matter what it is. Because
Okay.
NEMA is for everybody, whether old or young.
Okay.
That's what we're fighting for.
Okay. So how about the funding fathers? Okay, because I initially generalized that to be for seniors. How about the funders? Is there any
Um,
way that that payment can be waived for them in honor of what they did?
well, the funding father, the thing I think, from my understanding, is that since the founding father, the elder, the people like us
Uh-huh.
who knew about what the organization was from the beginning,
Yeah.
they brought us in to give you some information on how we got started
Yes.
and not to run the organization. You know,
Right.
I think what I do recommend is that you set up some people who will be writing and giving some information on how Unico could move and diversify and get
Yeah.
something that will get NIMA people more interested. So
Right.
I see a lot of, most of the time, a lot of our officials have come here
Yeah.
to talk to you, and they do contribute certain things to your organization. And you too have also given your share of what you generate there
Right.
to Nima County.
Right.
I can be a witness because when I worked there as a dean, Unico were always supplying computers to
Yeah.
the college.
That's wonderful.
Unico also bought graduation gowns for the college that we used for 5 years before I left.
Wow. That's good
So,
to know.
so Unico has always done that. And right now, there are probably some students still there here on Unico scholarship.
That is good to know.
Yeah,
And talking about it makes us feel better. Talking about it brings
yeah.
information to us where we are pretty much aware of what we are doing, and outsiders can also connect with us to see what we're doing.
And coming from there, my recommendation is that
Yeah.
the college should be expanded to other parts of Lima County
Okay.
instead of just being in Sunny Cole.
Okay.
Okay, you can have a branch in Seclepie, you can have a branch in Butuo, you
Right.
can have a branch in Campley and other
Yeah.
places instead of everybody coming, because it's difficult to live in Liberia. Most
Right.
of the students coming to the college, they have difficulty to stay in school because of food, just share food and lodging.
Yes.
So if you take branch, or you can take maybe my idea that I was getting ready to present to the administration was perhaps we can take one of the programs and send it to Secretary, another program to Ganta, another program around Ikepa and Campley, and so on.
Okay.
That way we will make good impact than to put everything right in one place when funding coming is not enough.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
truthfully, it's been like that in San Nicolas because
Yeah.
that place has been a really tough area economically for a very long period of time. So when very young students who are 18 years old come to college, leaving their parents to come and commute in that area, they will be thinking about feeding, they'll be thinking about shelter, and we don't have
Yeah.
dormitories up there. So reaching out
Right.
to them can make everything decentralized in the way that our people can benefit from. One of
Yeah.
the things that I wanted to bring up to your attention is our 50th anniversary will be here soon.
Oh,
Yeah, so Unico is going to be 50 years old pretty soon.
yeah, that's true.
And yeah, so people that I've interviewed, some have come up to say it is okay if we should have a physical address that could be somewhere we can use as headquarters and not putting burden on us financially, but we can have a hall attached to that area that can be
Yeah.
used to generate revenue, while we can have office attached to it and a little archive where we can have some of our funding documents and some essential things that we want to keep for the organization.
All right.
What do you have to say about that?
I think that's
Whatsoever.
a brilliant idea. It's a
Mhm.
brilliant idea. But when you do,
Mm,
you have to look for a central location
right.
to do that. Uh, I know I lived in Atlanta for a long time. Atlanta is way back there. Majority of Unico people are kind of centrally located in Boston, New York, Philadelphia, and Minnesota, and Fargo, and all coming, and then Ohio. So you have to look for a central location. I have a preference, but I don't want to name it, and you guys can make a decision on where you want as a central location to establish an office, a central location that would be the headquarters for Unico.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
All right.
So, you know, Edo Duo, what would be your closing statement if we should ask you for one?
Well, I would tell you that I want to say thank you to Unico for inviting me.
Mhm,
Uh, my success and my growth
mhm.
personally is attributed to what we did in Unico.
Right.
I was a student when we started this organization, and based on what Unico has done, the the balance cooperation that we have, that
Yeah.
we have seen, some of us benefited from it,
Yeah.
and we had the opportunity. They gave us the opportunity to go back home and serve our country, and we serve our country.
Right.
You know, so that's a very nice thing, and I'm very happy about that.
So this is wonderful. We truly appreciate you for also honoring our invitation to come here and talk to your people. I
Thank you.
will I will give my closing statement and then we can conclude the show.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
mhm. For those of us who are just joining us, this is The Voice, a future episode of the Inside Times. We dedicate this history hour to our distinguished elders who are the founders of UNICO, the United Neighbor Citizens Council here in America. So we are speaking to Edo George Duo, who is the first Secretary General for the NEMA Student Association that he helped to found. And he was actually instrumental in bringing the idea that Nemaians who have been coming for EULA program back in the 70s can also meet and have an organization that is county based because he used to be an errand boy running around picking people up from airport or bus stations and bringing them. So some of those he met were from NIMBA and they were coming for EULA program. So what it did was that they are like, oh, but we can have our own thing here too that is county based and still be part of EULA. And that's how they started. So he was the first Secretary General, and eventually um, they had Mongrel as the chairman. But Mongrel asked him too that they should come together and have a convention by asking the members from all over to be a part of it, which he was instrumental in sending out letters and making the phone calls. And most of those he calls were students pretty young like him. So when they met in Georgia, they said, oh, you've been calling, you may us come here so we can make you the chairman. And then they elected him as the chairperson. So that's quite an interesting experience. He went on, worked in Liberia, came back, joined UNICO during the war, went back to Liberia to Nimba University, worked in San Kote for 15 years as ordained of one of the colleges out there. And his commitment to UNICO is what we've been talking about here. When it comes to due payment waiver for elders, he said, well, it shouldn't be something completely done. Elders can be asked for what they can afford as some form of contribution so that the organization can keep moving. Then when it comes to us having the physical address as headquarters, he says that's a brilliant idea once it's bringing in revenue and it can host our important documents and we can have an office there. But we should make sure that it is located in a place that we can have the audience to have the revenue generated. So we want to thank you, Edo George Duo, for being very much serviceable to our county and our country at large. We appreciate you on the show and we hope to talk to you again.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening to all.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Goodbye. Yeah, so that was Elder George Duo, who we just talked to. And if you are just joining us, that concludes our history hour for tonight. We will be coming here on Friday with another funder, and the program continues over the weekend. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.